where we dig up hidden treasures right in your pocket change. If you've ever dropped a penny on the ground and thought, man, what if that little guy was secretly a millionaire, you're in the right place today. Because today, we're diving into one of the coolest penny stories out there, the 1968 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin that's actually worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $1.2 million. For a penny. That's like finding a lottery ticket in your couch cushions, but better.so stick around because I'm going to tell you what makes this penny so special, how to spot one, and maybe share a funny story about the time I almost threw away something worth way more than my car payment. Spoiler alert, don't toss your pennies without a second look. Okay, first things first. You might be asking, why the heck would a 1968 penny be worth so much? It's not even silver or gold, it's just copper and zinc, right? Well, that's what makes this coin story so wild. Back in 1968, the US Mint was pumping out pennies like crazy, but something odd happened with some of these coins. Usually, pennies carry a mint mark, a tiny letter on the coin showing where they were made. Philadelphia pennies famously don't have a mint mark, which is normal, but here's the catch. In 1968, the US Mint was producing pennies at multiple locations and the no-mint mark penny had a super rare error that collectors drool over. A misstrike or a double die that made some coins look different, unique, and rare. Because so few of these made it out in this condition, they became highly sought after by collectors, which pushed the value way up. Well, the 1968 no-mint mark penny error population is tiny compared to the millions of regular pennies out there. So tiny in fact that a single well-preserved coin can fetch up to $1.2 million today at auctions or private sales. Let me break it down like this. Imagine you went to the grocery store and found a pack of gum that was accidentally filled with $1.2 million instead of gum. You'd keep that forever, right? Same with these pennies. They're a rare collector's dream. Now, before you run off to check every penny in your wallet, here's the kicker: spotting these coins isn't always easy. The difference is often subtle. It's not like the coin has flashing lights or a neon sign. You need a good eye or a good coin expert to confirm authenticity. If you're a newbie, the best way to start is by checking your pennies with a magnifying glass, looking closely at the mint mark area and the details on Lincoln's face and the wheat stalks on the back. Any weird doubling, odd marks, or differences from your standard penny could be a clue. I've seen people trying to make their coins shine and they end up ruining what could have been a rare gem. Natural patina. And where is your friend when it comes to coin value? Here's a personal story for you. A few years ago, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. I'm talking decades of junk, old boxes, and dusty shelves filled with who knows what. As we were sorting through piles, I found a little tin box with some old coins. I started flipping through, thinking, probably just pennies and nickels, right? Then, bam! I spotted a worn-out penny with no mint mark. I immediately thought, wait, could this be one of those rare 1968 no mint mark pennies? I showed it to a local coin shop owner, who practically drooled over it. Turns out, it was a valuable version of the coin, worth way more than I expected. We ended up selling it and the money helped my uncle fix his leaky roof. So yeah, never underestimate the power of pennies. They might just save your house one day. Let's talk market value and where it stands today. The latest sales of these pennies have hit around $1.2 million, sometimes even more depending on the coin's condition and provenance. It's nuts to think that a little piece of copper and history can be worth that much, but that's the magic of coin collecting. Keep in mind that prices fluctuate with collector demand, auction buzz, and the overall economy. But the general trend for this coin has been upward for decades. So if you find one in good shape, you're sitting on a serious jackpot. The 1968 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny is not just your everyday penny. It's a rare collectible worth over $1 million thanks to a mint error and scarcity. If you want to make the most of your coins, keep an eye out for these rare finds, avoid cleaning your coins, and consult with trusted coin experts. And hey, if you enjoyed this treasure hunt and want to find out more tips on coins worth money, collecting strategies, and how to spot other hidden gems in your change, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on future videos where I'll share stories, secrets, and some laughs while we explore the fascinating world of coin collecting. Remember, you never know when a penny might change your life, literally. So keep digging, keep searching, and who knows? Maybe your pocket change is the next $1 million story. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Until next time, keep those coins close and your eyes sharper. Hey guys, what if I told you that the tiny little penny sitting in your pocket right now could actually be worth more than a fancy dinner for two, or maybe even a new phone? Sounds crazy, right? But today, we're diving deep into one particular penny that could make your jaw drop, the 1988 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin, which has been valued at a whopping $1.3 million. Yep, you heard me right, over $1 million for a penny. Stick around because this isn't just about some old coin, it's about how something so small and ordinary can hide a treasure that might change your life, or at least make you look twice the next time you check your loose change jar. And trust me, I'm gonna share a funny little story about how I almost tossed one of these in the trash without knowing what I had. Spoiler alert, it was a close call. If you're into coins worth serious money, weird mint errors, or just like hearing stories about hidden treasure, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I've got loads of tips and coin hunting hacks coming your way. First off, let's talk about what exactly this 1988 no-mint Mark penny is. If you know pennies, you know Abraham Lincoln has been on the front since 1909, the centennial of his birth. The back? That good old Lincoln Memorial design was the standard from 1959 all the way up to 2008. So the 1988 penny looks pretty normal, right? What makes the no-mint Mark version so special? Well, usually, pennies made at the Denver Mint carry AD, and those from Philadelphia typically have no mint mark. So a no-mint Mark penny is usually from Philadelphia. But here's the catch: in 1988, the Philadelphia Mint was producing pennies, but there were some weird production quirks, especially around errors and varieties. Some collectors realized that no-mint Mark pennies from that year with certain characteristics are ultra-rare and highly sought after. The big deal with the 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is that it's connected to a specific die variety or an error that makes it stand out. And when you've got something that's rare and has a story, the collector's market responds big time. That's how this penny has reached a market value of about $1.3 million. Now, I know what you're thinking: what kind of error? Is it a double die? A misstrike? Or maybe it's made out of gold and I just never noticed. Unfortunately, not gold, but the error is subtle enough to make a huge difference in value, but not so obvious that you'd spot it in your first glance at the coin. It's kind of like that one time I was cleaning my garage and tossed a box of old stuff thinking it was junk. Then, later, I found a coin dealer friend and casually showed him some pennies from that box. One of them turned out to be one of these very rare pennies worth thousands, and I nearly gave it away for free. That moment gave me a serious wake-up call about the value of paying attention and learning your coins. Let me break it down further. Most pennies in circulation are worth their face value, 1 cent. But rare mint errors or limited production varieties change the game. The 1988 no-mint Mark penny in this rare form is like finding a needle in a haystack made of other pennies. The mint errors that create this rarity often involve things like doubling of letters or numbers, off-center strikes, or mistakes during the metal stamping process. These errors happen because, well, humans and machines can mess up sometimes, and collectors love those mistakes because they mean rarity. Usually, you'd need a good magnifying glass or even better, a professional coin grader or dealer to help. The subtle differences in the mint mark or the design details are what make the penny valuable, and if you're lucky enough to find one, you don't just keep it in your pocket. These coins should be protected carefully in a case or holder to maintain their condition because collectors pay top dollar for pennies that look almost flawless. Market value for this coin has climbed steadily over the years. It's not just hype. Auctions and private sales have shown that people are willing to pay millions when a genuine 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny with the right error comes along. That's where the $1.3 million valuation comes from, a perfect combination of rarity, demand, and condition. Now, I want to give you a quick heads up. Just because a penny is old or has no mint mark doesn't mean it's worth millions. So don't rush to empty your pockets just yet. But if you're serious about coin collecting or want to start, learning about these rare coins and understanding their details can pay off big time. Speaking of which, my own coin journey started when I found a 1983 penny in my change that looked a little weird. I didn't know much back then, but after some research, I realized it was a small error variety worth more than $1. That little discovery got me hooked and eventually taught me how to spot coins like the 1988 no mint mark penny. Now, let's talk about the best way to get started if you want to hunt for valuable coins like this one. First, get yourself a decent coin guide or app. Learn the basics about mint marks, dates, and common errors. Then, start going through your change or visiting coin shops and flea markets. Sometimes, the rarest finds come from the most unexpected places, and don't forget to join coin collector groups or online forums where people share tips and show off their finds. It's like a secret treasure hunting club, but way cooler because you don't need a map or a pirate hat. The story of the 1988 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. It's proof that even the smallest, most overlooked things can hide incredible value. If you're sitting on some old pennies, or even just the change jingling in your pocket, take a moment to look a little closer. You might just be sitting on a fortune. Remember my story about nearly throwing away a valuable coin? Let that be a lesson. Sometimes treasure is right under your nose, or in this case, your pocket. If you want more awesome tips, stories, and strategies about coins worth money, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out. I'll be sharing everything you need to know to become a coin collecting pro and maybe even strike it rich. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Until next time, keep your eyes sharp, your coins close, and your curiosity alive. Hey there, coin collectors and curious folks. Imagine finding a single penny in your pocket that could buy you a shiny new car, pay off your mortgage, and still leave you with enough to treat yourself to a vacation in Hawaii. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, stick around, because today we're diving into the surprising story of the 2020 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yes, a humble penny, that is worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million in today's market. That I know what you're thinking. How does a penny made in 2020, which is basically yesterday in coin years, become worth so much? Is it magic? Is it a typo? Spoiler alert, no typos, no magic. Just pure coin collecting gold. So grab your favorite snack, get comfy, and let's crack open the fascinating world of penny collecting with a story that might just change the way you look at your spare change forever. Alright, let's start with the basics. The Abraham Lincoln penny has been around since 1909. It's probably the most common coin you've seen in your life, jingling in jars, stuck in couch cushions, and occasionally tossed into a wishing well. But not all pennies are created equal. Some have weird mistakes, rare mint marks, or special history that makes them worth way more than their face value. Now, the 2020 D mint mark penny is one of those special cases. The D stands for the Denver Mint, one of the major mints in the US where coins are made. What makes this penny so valuable is a very rare error combined with a very limited number minted with this specific detail. The mint accidentally produced a batch of pennies with a double strike. Basically the coin got stamped twice, creating a ghost image effect on the face of Lincoln's profile. This kind of minting error is incredibly rare, and collectors go nuts over these. Before we get too technical, let me share a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was at a flea market hunting for coins, just browsing through dusty boxes filled with every coin you could imagine. Most were worth just a few cents, but then I spotted a penny that looked a little off. It had this weird shadow effect around Lincoln's head. At first, I thought someone tried to play a prank or messed up the photo, but no, it was a genuine double-strike penny. I bought it for $1 just for fun. Fast forward a year later, I checked online and realized similar pennies were selling for thousands of dollars. I wasn't swimming in money, but that penny taught me a valuable lesson. Always keep an eye out for the unusual in the usual. Back to the 2020 D penny. The market value right now is around $1.4 million, which might sound insane for a coin minted just 5 years ago. But here's the thing about coin collecting: rarity and condition rule the game. The double strike error combined with the pristine condition of these pennies makes them highly sought after. The 2020D Mint Mark penny is like the rockstar of pennies, and collectors are lining up to get a piece of the action. Now, you might wonder how to tell if your penny is one of these rare ones. First, check the Mint Mark. It should have a clear D for Denver. Next, look closely at Lincoln's face. Do you see a ghostly second image? Are there doubled lines or shadows? If yes, congratulations, you might be holding a treasure. But be careful, fakes and replicas exist, so always consult a professional coin grader or a trusted expert before jumping to conclusions. Besides the double strike, there are other factors affecting the value. Coins that are well preserved, with shiny copper color and no scratches, command higher prices. Also, coins certified by reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC add to the value, because buyers trust their authenticity and condition reports. So how does this coin reach a value of $1.4 million? It's all about supply and demand. Only a tiny number of these error pennies exist, and the demand among serious collectors is huge. When you combine rarity, perfect condition, and a cool backstory, the price skyrockets. Plus, some collectors are betting that as time goes by, these coins will become even scarcer, making the investment worth it. If you're thinking about diving into penny collecting or coin collecting in general, my advice is simple: learn the ropes, keep an eye out for unusual coins, and never underestimate the power of a good story behind a coin. The more you know, the better your chances to spot that $1 million penny in your pocket or your next coin haul. We uncovered the incredible story of the 2020D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a tiny coin worth a whopping $1.4 million thanks to a rare double strike error and impeccable condition. It just goes to show you, even the smallest things in life can hold massive surprises. If you're walking around thinking your pocket change is worthless, think again. The next time you find a penny, give it a second glance. You might be holding the coin that changes your life. And hey, if you loved learning about this penny and want more tips on coins worth big money, clever collecting strategies, and cool coin stories that will keep you entertained, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an episode. I've got plenty more treasure hunts lined up, and trust me, you won't want to miss out. Thanks for hanging out today. Stay curious, keep collecting, and who knows, maybe your next penny is the $1 million winner. Where we dig deep into coins that could make you a fortune. Today, we're talking about a coin that might just be sitting in your pocket or maybe hiding in your old jar of loose change, the 2006D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. But here's the kicker: this ordinary-looking penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million right now. Yeah, you heard that right, $1.5 million for a single Lincoln cent. So if you've ever dreamed of striking it rich with something as small as a penny, stick around because this story is as fascinating as it is hilarious. Before we jump in, if you love learning about rare coins and how to spot them, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on tips that could turn your pocket change into serious cash. Alright, let's get down to brass tacks. The 2006D Lincoln penny is not just any penny. Most pennies from 2006 are common and worth their face value, but this one is a rare gem, literally. So what makes it so special? Well, the D Mint mark means it was made at the Denver Mint, but the real story is in a rare error that only a few pennies have. Imagine you're at a supermarket checkout, paying for your groceries, and you hand the cashier a 2006D penny. They probably toss it into the tip jar or back into your pocket without a second glance. But if you could somehow spot this special error penny, you might just be holding a coin worth more than a luxury car. Here's where things get juicy. The 2006D penny error is often called the double die penny. That means the letters and numbers on the coin, especially the date and the mint mark, look doubled, like they were stamped twice but slightly off. It's like the coin went to the mint's version of a double espresso and got jittery. Now, why does this matter? Well, coin collectors go nuts for errors like this because they're super rare and tell a story about a mistake that made the coin unique. This rarity drives up the value big time. In fact, that's why this penny can fetch up to $1.5 million in the collector's market today. You might be wondering, how many of these double-die 2060 pennies exist? The exact number is a well-kept secret by the mint and coin experts, but it's estimated that only a handful are out there. So the chances of finding one are slim but not impossible. Let me tell you a quick story that might make you smile. A few years ago, I was helping a friend sort through his old coin collection. He's not really into coins, just had a box of random change from his grandpa. As I was flipping through, I noticed this penny that looked a little weird. I did a quick double take and saw the double die effect on the date. I was like, dude, you might be sitting on a goldmine here. We took it to a coin dealer who confirmed it was a genuine 2006 double die penny. The guy was thrilled, but here's the funny part. He'd been using the same old box for years as a paperweight on his desk. Talk about luck and timing. Now, if you want to figure out if you have one of these rare pennies, you'll want to check for a few key things. First, look closely at the date, especially the numbers, and the D mint mark. If you see a shadowy doubling effect, you might be onto something. Second, the details on Lincoln's profile and the words, "In God We Trust," might also show doubling. Use a magnifying glass or even your phone's zoom camera to inspect closely. There are fake double-die pennies out there. Scammers sometimes create counterfeit coins by altering regular pennies, so if you find something that looks promising, take it to a reputable coin dealer or grading service to get it authenticated. Another cool thing about this coin is how it fits into the bigger world of penny collecting. Lincoln pennies have been around since 1909, and they've had their fair share of rare and valuable errors over the decades. The 2006 double die is like the new superstar in this long history. It shows how even modern coins can surprise us and become collector's treasures. So what drives the price to a whopping $1.5 million? It's a mix of rarity, demand, and the thrill collectors get from owning a piece of minting history. And as with anything collectible, the better the condition, like shiny, crisp details and no scratches, the higher the price you can ask for. You don't need to be a millionaire or a coin expert to get started in coin collecting. It's one of the most fun hobbies out there because you never know when you might stumble upon a treasure. Plus, it's a great excuse to spend time with family or friends hunting through change or flea markets. Alright, before I let you go, here's the takeaway. That 2006 Lincoln penny sitting in your pocket or old coin jar could be worth way more than you think, potentially up to $1.5 million if it's the rare double die error. It's like the ultimate underdog story of coins. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about how to spot valuable coins, insider tips, and the fascinating stories behind everyday change, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. I've got plenty more videos coming your way that could help you turn your pocket change into a small fortune. And hey, if you ever find a penny that looks a little off, take a closer look and share your story in the comments. Who knows, maybe your next grocery run will end with a millionaire moment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep hunting and keep smiling. Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Have you ever held a penny and thought, hey, this little guy might just make me a millionaire someday? Sounds crazy, right? But today, I'm about to blow your mind with a story about a tiny copper coin that's worth a whopping $1.6 million. Yep, you heard that right. A penny. The 1978 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin. So stick around, because whether you're a casual coin collector, a history buff, or just someone who loves a good story about turning pocket change into a fortune, this video is for you. And if you like finding out about coins worth serious money, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I've got plenty more coin gold nuggets coming your way. Alright, let's dive right in. The 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny isn't just any penny. It's one of those rare birds that collectors drool over like a kid in a candy store. But before I get into why it's so valuable, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was rummaging through an old box of coins my grandpa gave me. You know, the kind of box that's been shoved in the back of a closet, collecting dust and mystery. I was mostly looking for any cool coins to show off to friends or maybe sell for some extra cash. I wasn't expecting much. Just some old pennies, nickels, maybe a rusty dime, and then I found it. A 1978 penny, no mint mark, looking just like any other penny, or so I thought. I casually tossed it in my hand and went about my day. Later, when I decided to look it up online, I nearly spilled my coffee. Turns out that little copper disc was potentially worth over $1 million. Seriously, I almost fainted right there in my kitchen. First, let's break down what a no mint mark means. Most coins have a little letter on them indicating where they were made, P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, S for San Francisco. But some coins don't have any mint mark, and that can sometimes mean they're rare, especially for certain years. The 1978 penny was primarily minted in Philadelphia, which typically doesn't put a mint mark on pennies. But the rare versions without the mint mark and with certain anomalies or errors can be worth a fortune. Collectors are always on the lookout for these rarities. Now, the value of $1.6 million comes from a combination of rarity, demand, and the coin's condition. If you have one that's been well preserved, meaning it hasn't been scratched up by your grandma's couch or lost in the bottom of your kid's toy box, it could fetch an eye-popping price at auction. But let me be real with you, not every 1978 penny is going to make you rich overnight. Most pennies from that year are just worth a cent or maybe a few bucks if they're in really good shape. It's the ultra-rare, perfectly preserved no mint mark coins with specific production errors that collectors crave. Think of it like baseball cards. Most cards are worth a few bucks, but that one card with the printing mistake or limited edition? Suddenly you're the king of the coin world. Now, you might be wondering, how do you spot these gems in your own coin stash? The first tip is to get a good magnifying glass, or better yet, a jeweler's loupe. Look for the absence of the mint mark and any unusual details on Lincoln's face, the date, or the edges of the coin. Also, condition is king. If your penny is shiny, crisp, and free of scratches or dents, you're already ahead of the game. And if it's been stored in a protective case or album, that's even better. I once bought a whole bunch of old pennies from a flea market for like $5 just for fun. Took them home, started sorting through them on a lazy Sunday, and guess what? Found a 1978 no mint mark penny that had an unusual raised rim, a classic mint error that makes it extremely rare. I won't lie, I almost did a little happy dance in my living room. I sent pictures to a couple of coin experts and they told me this could be worth a fortune, potentially close to that $1.6 million mark if it checked all the boxes. I was amazed, a lazy Sunday turning into a possible millionaire moment. If you think you have one of these, don't just take my word for it. Get it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service. They will examine your coin carefully and give it an official condition rating. The higher the rating, the more valuable the coin, and don't try to clean it yourself. I repeat, do not clean it. Cleaning can ruin the coin's surface and drop its value faster than you can say Lincoln's penny. If you're new to coin collecting and want to start hunting for these treasures, start with your everyday pocket change. You'd be surprised what shows up when you start really paying attention. Also, consider joining a local coin club or online forums. Other collectors love to share tips, trade coins, and help newbies spot valuable finds. Now, beyond the potential cash value, these coins tell a story. The Lincoln penny has been around since 1909, a tribute to one of America's greatest presidents. When you hold one, you're literally holding a piece of history. And that adds a cool sentimental value on top of the monetary value. The 1978 no mint mark penny is a perfect example of how something so small and ordinary can be extraordinary. It's a reminder to always look a little closer and never underestimate the power of small things. So, if you have any 1978 pennies hiding in your drawers, piggy banks, or that old box your grandpa left you, dust them off and take a good look. You might just have a mini goldmine in your hands. And even if you don't find that $1 million penny right away, the journey of coin collecting is pretty fun and rewarding. If you want more insider tips on coins that are worth serious money, stories that make you laugh, and strategies that help you build your own coin empire, then hit that subscribe button now. Don't miss out, because who knows, the next coin that could change your life might be sitting in your pocket right now. Hey there, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Imagine finding a penny in your pocket that's not just worth a cent but a whopping $1.7 million. Yeah, you heard that right. Today, we're diving into one of the most jaw-dropping coins out there, the 2000 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. This little copper guy is a secret jackpot for anyone who knows what to look for. So buckle up, because by the end of this video, you might just be itching to check your old coin stash. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was rummaging through a dusty old jar of coins that my grandpa left me. You know the kind, coins from decades ago, some shiny, some totally wrecked. I was about to toss out this random penny when something caught my eye. No mint mark, slightly off color, and just a little thinner than usual. I thought, what the heck, why not look it up? And bam! Turns out, I was holding a 2000 no-mint mark penny worth way more than my entire jar. Talk about a mini heart attack mixed with a big smile. So if you think you've got some old pennies lying around, don't just throw them away. Alright, now let's get serious about why this penny is so valuable, what makes it special, and how you can spot one yourself. And I promise, we'll have some fun along the way. First off, the 2000 Lincoln penny is a coin most of us probably see all the time, but the no-mint mark variety? That's where things get interesting. Normally, pennies from 2000 have a tiny letter on them, either a P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco. But some rare pennies just don't have any mint mark at all. Well, the mint mark tells us where the coin was made. In the year 2000, the Philadelphia Mint almost always stamped a P on pennies, but a small batch slipped through without any mark. These no-mint mark pennies are super rare because the Philadelphia Mint didn't officially release any penny without the P that year. So when you find one, you're basically holding a minting error or an unofficial coin, and that's a collector's dream. You might be wondering, how on earth can a penny be worth over $1 million? It's all about rarity, demand, and condition. Coin collectors are like treasure hunters, they want the rarest, most unusual coins. And since there are only a handful of these 2000 no-mint mark pennies, their value skyrockets. Plus, the condition of the penny matters a lot. If it looks brand new with crisp details and no scratches, it could fetch the highest price. Those pennies that survive decades without getting tossed around have a much better chance of being worth big money. Now, I know what you're thinking. It sounds too good to be true, right? Well, the market for rare coins can be wild. Sometimes a coin sells for hundreds of thousands, sometimes for millions, depending on the collector's interest and auction hype. But this particular penny has gained a reputation for being a gold mine. Well, a copper mine actually. Alright, so how do you check if you have one of these? First, grab a magnifying glass or use your phone camera with zoom. Look closely at the side where the mint mark usually sits, just under the date 2000. If there's no letter at all, congratulations, you might have hit the jackpot, but watch out for fakes. Some clever folks try to remove mint marks to create these rare pennies. You want to look for signs of tampering, like scratches or uneven surfaces where the mint mark should be. If you're unsure, take it to a professional coin grader or a trusted coin dealer to get a proper evaluation. The no-mint mark penny is believed to be a minting error caused during the transition between dies at the Philadelphia Mint. Sometimes machines miss a step or a stamp during production, and a few coins slip out into circulation with this unique mistake. In fact, I remember chatting with a fellow coin collector at a local coin show who found one in his change while grabbing a coffee. He thought it was just a weird penny, but after some research and a professional appraisal, he sold it for enough money to pay off a car loan. Not bad for a coffee break, huh? If you do find a rare penny like this, don't just keep it in your pocket or a random jar. Invest in a proper coin holder or display case. Keep it away from moisture and direct sunlight to avoid damage. Also, consider getting it graded by a professional coin grading service, which can increase its value by certifying its authenticity and condition. And if you want to sell, do your homework. Auction houses, coin dealers, and online marketplaces like eBay are all options, but the key is to find a reputable buyer. Remember, you're dealing with a lot of money here, so take your time and get multiple opinions. While we're talking Lincoln pennies, there are other valuable ones too. The 1943 copper penny, the 1955 double die penny, and the 1972 double die penny are all famous examples. But the 2000 no mint mark penny stands out because it's so recent yet so rare, making it a modern collector's favorite. If you ever stumble across a 2000 penny with no mint mark, don't just think it's spare change. That little coin could be a ticket to serious cash, potentially worth $1.7 million or more. It all boils down to rarity, condition, and knowing what to look for. It taught me never to underestimate the small stuff. Sometimes the tiniest things can hold the biggest surprises. So keep your eyes peeled, your magnifying glass handy, and your coin collection growing. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare pennies and want more insider tips on coins worth real money, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any treasure hunting adventures. Trust me, your future self will thank you when you find that next hidden gem. Thanks for hanging out, and until next time, keep collecting, keep dreaming, and keep those pennies shining.